Welcome to this week's recipe rush. Matt's gone to the shops and he's got some veggies and some breads and he's got some chicken pieces, a big roast lamb and lots of chicken breast. So I decided I'm going to make a big buttered chicken and I'm going to do a lamb Rogan Josh and some tandoori chicken pieces. Now with the amount that he's bought, I'm going to do enough for 2 nights. So I'm marinating the chicken breast in some tandoori spice with some ginger and garlic and salt and pepper. Now I'm cutting up my big leg of lamb into chunks of meat so that I can make my Rogan Josh. I'm then cutting up 6 onions into diced pieces so that we've got enough for both dishes. So I've browned off my lamb and now I'm frying off my onions in some ghee and I'm putting in some of my spices with those onions. I've then added some chicken stock into that just so it can deglaze the pan, and I've put back my lamb in there with those spices. So now onto the tandoori paste. We are chucking in a whole lot of garlic, ginger, we're putting in a whole lot of spices, cumin, coriander, Kashmiri chili powder, some paprika, cardamom pods and some tomato paste and brown sugar. And we're putting that into a jar with some olive oil just to preserve the sauce. What's left in the bottom of the blender goes into a bowl with some homemade yogurt and that gets blended up together. We then put all of our chicken pieces into a baking tray because they're going to go into the fire with that tandoori marinade all over them. We let them sit in the fridge and that marinates for most of the day until it's time for them to cook in the fire. So we have a fire that goes over our spar to keep our spar nice and warm, and while we're having our spar, our fire cooks. Onto the buttered chicken, we've got probably about 200 grams of butter, quite a lot because I'm making over 3 kilos of chicken. We've got 4 onions diced up and cooked in that butter with a bit of olive oil. I'm putting in all my whole spices in there, so some star anise, some cinnamon and some cumin, coriander and a few other spices in there too. I put some lemon juice in, I put some tomato puree and some chicken stock, and now I'm just letting that sauce cook down. So into that I'm adding in my chicken that's been marinated and I'm letting that cook down again. And then when that chicken has kind of come to the point where it's nearly cooked through, we add in our cream. So a bit of almond flour in there as well, just to thicken it up a little bit. And then that is ready to go. And that is the result of our tandoori chicken out of the fire. And now we're going to do the taste test of these 3 dishes and see what the master thinks. So he's going to have his tandoori, his Rogan Josh and his buttered chicken, and we'll see what he likes. A little bit of cucumber and yogurt on top and see what his response is. I think it's a success. He definitely likes it.